like 'em cute, I like 'em rough, I like 'em bad, I like 'em soft, my bitch is bad, I like 'em tough, I think she bad, she think she not. I like 'em cute, I like 'em rough, I like 'em bad, I like 'em soft, my bitch is bad, I like 'em tough, I think she bad, she think she not. I love it, yeah, yeah, I love it. 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 I love a bad bitch, bad bitch, bad bitch. I love a bad bitch, bad bitch, bad bitch. I love a bad bitch, bad bitch, bad bitch. I love a bad bitch, bad bitch, bad bitch. I love a bad bitch, bad bitch, bad bitch. I love a bad bitch, bad bitch, bad bitch. I love a bad bitch, bad bitch, bad bitch. I love a bad bitch, bad bitch, bad bitch.
How you doing, Zodiac? Being the Baltimore guy isn't easy, but it's something I take a lot of pride in. This is what I gotta do. As you was saying, what's poppin'.
Present
I never know
day.
if that damn bot's gonna cooperate. This is why
Present
I don't mess
time.
with technology. Skynet is coming for all of us.
Really think I love her now. Never wanna see her frown. I just wanna play around. She just wanna get a house. I don't wanna see her down. Take her all around my town. Up and down, side to side, round and round. Really think
I want to do Jojolion today, but I'll have to do that tomorrow because some people who gotta be there can't.
Up and down, side to side, round and round. Yeah, we just like Jack and Jill. Baby nearly lost her crown. I just wanna stack this money. Baby, can you count it out? Yeah, this bitch tastes just like honey. Don't think that I'm hungry now. In the sun, just walking. Love to hear her talking. I just whisper in her ear, that biscuit wet just like a dolphin. I get lost inside her eyes. I don't do this very often. She says thoughts inside my mind. It's a pendulum just fucking rocking. Feeling like me.
Let me just change the scene. Bada boom, bada bing. What's up, Pure Life? You're boom. It is me. What's up? What's really good with y'all? Oh man, I'm tired as hell. And y'all got me playing this dumbass game. Catching Impact. I'm trying to get to Inazuma. It is what it is, but I'm here. Man, I didn't really have anything crazy planned today because I was supposed to be something else. What's happening? But, yo, let me tell y'all something about me. All right, and this might not run long. I might just talk for like half an hour and then I'll just put on Genshin Impact and you guys can watch me play that and watch me cuss at the game for like half an hour if you want. But what's up, Cayenne? But yo, protect your peace of mind, man. Don't do it. Don't be like me. I don't know what anybody. It's a question for anybody who's in here. How many of you guys would consider yourselves introverts? And by that I mean, I don't necessarily mean you hate going outside, or you hate socializing, but you prefer to be at home. You prefer to be inside. And the way that you recharge and replenish your energy is by alone time. Whether it's reading, gaming, writing, whatever the case may be, you recharge your energy to get back out there with with me time. I don't know if a lot of you are like that. I'm kind of like that. Like I like to be home. You know, traveling is cool, being out is cool, but I have no problem just going to the same places, seeing the same people. You know, I'm a regular at certain restaurants. There's a chapters that know me by name, you know? So, okay, all right, just wondering. Because I'm not an extroverted person. That's me too? Okay. So, like, you get burned out when you, like, do a bunch of stuff. And then, like, people are like, yo, you wanted to go do this. This is lit. This is fun. You're like, yo, I'm tired. Like, like that extroverted life there's too much disorder in there. But, like, I wanted to put myself in these situations just to get more accustomed to like being socially calibrated to these times. Because the truth of the matter is, you may not know this, I kind of retreated from the world for like 3 years. Honestly, like I just kind of stayed home, kept my head down, went to work, worked out, and like did certain things. But I wasn't living. I was just alive. But like I kind of retreated because like the world stopped making sense to me, and it's honestly it still doesn't make sense to me. But all right, fact. Yeah, I can only be at a party for so long after work. I take my job. Yeah. Like I'm notorious for being out. Like, let's say it's your birthday, Zodiac, and we're here from like 10 to the party's from like 9 to 3 a.m. I might bounce before midnight. Hit you with that, hey yo, I'm gonna go. I used to lie about it when I was younger. Be like, oh, I'm going to the ATM so I can come buy more booze, and I'd leave to go to the ATM and just go home. Just hop on the subway and go home. Take the TTC and leave. Or like I will show up to show face because people are drunk. I'm like, you don't remember? Like I was there, yo. Like I would just kind of like be there for a little bit and go home. Or I would take a call. What's up? What's up, Trent, my guy? Or I'll take a call or fake call and be like, oh shoot, like I gotta go. I gotta talk to this person real quick. Yo, it's just my sister. One second, and I'll go off, and then I'll just sneak out the party. Like I'll just dip. I'll just dip. So now the reason why I was saying that is because what's up, Mikey? I need to play Higurashi. Every time I see you, I remember I need to play Higurashi, but you were sitting. But yeah, the reason I'm bringing that up is just because I was always cool with being out and about, but I was never an extrovert, truth be told. I'm just socially calibrated well enough to know how to navigate certain situations, but I'm not that guy, And the reason why I say that is because like I honestly feel like I let my own peace of mind get ruined, because I'm not gonna lie to you guys. At one point this summer I was talking to like 10 different girls, and I don't know if you guys know this, but women can live their life in disorder and be fine. I cannot live a chaotic life, and I let them get to me. I'm burned out. I'm tired. Like I don't even want to deal with them right now. I'm so tired right now. You have no idea. Like I don't know if you guys seen that thing I posted yesterday. It was like, it's just like, yo, leave me alone, dog. Like I gotta get out of here. Yeah, I did the other night. Oh man, I'm tired, and go home and play games for hours. Like you were tired, but you just didn't want to be there. You wanted to recharge your own social battery, whatever the case is, by just being on yourself and playing some video games. I totally get that. Bro, I feel retreated since moving back to the United Kingdom of Mid. Why so? You wreck Machino over here? Nah. I'm not that powerful. I can't still shin you at the speed of light. Naya D. No, wait, where's the rest? Where's the rest? Yeah, on Twitter, I'm gonna give you a piece of my mind. Oh shit, come on, East of Blue. But like, one of the reasons why I want to come here and speak about it is just that like, I talk with a lot of my younger male friends nowadays, and I've seen how like I don't know, like I guess I'll go through this. Like I lost my virginity at 13. I'm 28 today. 93 baby. And some people look at me in a certain light because of like things that I have done and what I do, and I'm like, and I try to make it known like it really isn't made out all it is to be. Like I'm miserable. It doesn't matter that I'm doing this thing that you don't think you're doing. I'm miserable. I would like to have a long-term committed relationship and get out of all this nonsense, or just be left alone. But I'm still a man at the end of the day. I'm gonna do what I gotta do. You feel me? What's up, Yak? Tangent Hot Princesses would do that. What's up, my fellow somewhat different from humans? What we discussing today? We're just talking. I'm telling y'all a story. I'm telling you how I ruined my own peace of mind with my own life, living chaotically. And I like talk to these guys, and like I think I told you a story about one of my one friends, but like he had the one girl who was not she wasn't it, and I proved that by hitting on her myself and making fun of him, and she joined in, and he got her pregnant regardless, even after the fact. It's like, I don't know what they're doing in school. I don't know how the culture is. Cause I always say you can't really separate biology, culture, and psychology. These things are constantly intertwined. I don't know what's happening in schools and cultures. Like I kind of have read certain things where they demonize masculinity, traditional masculinity, and things of that nature. So I don't know if these guys are growing up just being taught the wrong lessons, but they're so lost. And even I was lost. I was not that lost. To the point where like they really believe that even just to like have a girl be interested in them, for example, they have to do like these like Herculean tasks, like push up a boulder up a mountain, in quicksand. And I'm like, where did you get that from? Yeah, I've been there. Like, understand the male conquest phase and have experienced it, but I advise against it. This is the thing. Like, if you really think you have to kind of dive yourself into that to understand you don't need it, I can't tell you not to. But I'm just trying to tell people that it's really not made out all of this to be like. A lot of my time is wasted when I'm on FaceTime or I'm on this walk or a date or something, and it's like I could have been working. I could have been working out. I could have been making content. I could have been proofreading. I could have been planning my next day better. Like, it distracts. It's a distraction. And if you don't have enough discipline to navigate it properly, you're just gonna be lost. And it's like wanting to be confident enough to speak to a bunch of girls or have the confidence to like be in social situations and be whatever. I don't know, man. There's so many weird terms out there. Alpha male. I don't know, man. Red pilled male, high value man, whatever the case is. I just say, yo, be the best version of you can be. That's the most important thing. Don't get caught up in all of that pick up artistry and all that shit, because trust me, it's not made up what it is to be. It's really, it might be fun, but it's so fleeting. It's a fleeting moment of pleasure. It's a fleeting moment of fun. Like, it's not worth. Like, it affects your soul. I don't know if I don't know if I'm making sense. It affects your soul. Like, you ever heard of the like 1,000 cock eye stare or whatever, where you could just know someone's been run through? I think it goes both ways. Where like they're just dead inside. Like, you don't want to get to that point. Find something meaningful with value, and know what you're doing do what you're doing with purpose. Look back at the conquest days, and I'm thankful I didn't do anything particularly stupid. Yeah, 1,000 yard stare. Yeah, living dead. Like, yeah, cause I would say in college I was the most reckless. College, I was crazy in college. Like, those 2 years of college were wild, especially that first year, because I was on the soccer team too, right? And it's just like, I was just crazy. I was just doing whatever with whoever. The only thing that I've always had enough sense to do was protect myself. I've always knew you can get STDs and STIs from oral. I talk to people who are 40 with kids that don't know you can get STIs that way. You can get STIs from oral sex. Please protect yourself. Please do not be raw dogging out here. For fuck's sake. It just takes one time. Just protect yourself. And the reason why I had that sense was because my family is blended. My dad has, multiple kids with multiple women. My oldest sister is the same way. I've seen what that's done to the family. I've never wanted to have children out of wedlock. I was so careful about that. It's one mistake that I almost feel like I didn't deserve to avoid, but I avoided it. So I would just say be cognizant of that. Please protect yourself. I don't know what is going on with the music and stuff that's making people think it's cool, but no, it's not cool. You're spreading disease. It's fucking disgusting. Please be careful. Please be careful. I just got a story from one of my friends. He's 21. I'm gonna tell you something about it. The first heartbreak will do to you. Your first heartbreak will do a lot to you. For real, spiritual transference type shit. Yeah, I have good insight to add. I'll be in Discord. Okay, I'll come through. Give me a second. Let me open Discord for you. Have a hobby that helps you express and build yourself. You have to be able to be okay with yourself. Nothing can fill that void if you aren't putting in the work to deal with whatever it is that's bothering you, where you think you need alcohol or women or drugs or whatever it is to cope. It is not ideal. My name is still Tori. What's up, my guy?
Yo.
East?
Yo, that sound good?
Oh, wait, why are you so low? Is that me? Hold on, let me turn you up. Did I turn you down?
Yeah, they're trying to
speak
me down.
again?
They're trying to silence people.
How does he sound on the stream? Is he loud? I don't know. I think you should be alright. Well, how you doing, brother? How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. What about you?
I mean, all things considered, I'm as good as I can be. Good as I can be. I'm alright. I'm honestly okay. It's just like I just sat at one point. I'm like, I think I just need to put my nose to the grindstone for like at least 2 months. I don't want to do this anymore. I'm getting texts. I got texts like, oh, like I feel like we're getting distant, and I'm like, I can't do this. I need to work. I can't. I got myself get distracted. So yeah. Yeah. What was my first real heartbreak? I don't know if 8th grade counts. I got cheated on in the 8th grade and I left. I'll probably say maybe 11 when I got really played. Like, I got strung along for 8 weeks. 8 weeks? 8 months. Like 8 months. And I got played. And then that's really what created the monster. I won't lie to you. That created a bit of a monster. But I don't want people to turn into a monster. You don't have to do that. You know? Okay, you sound good? Okay, cool. But go ahead. Go ahead. What are you going to say?
Oh, what was on me? Oh, I just wanted to say, hey, forget all that diet talking about. Y'all need to be out here breeding, no condom. You need to have about 5 kids back, bro. That's the gimmick. Send me be on. You know what I'm saying? You be out here.
We know about Simi. You know about that guy. He out here slashing like sin. He's slashing like sin.
Oh my god. Nah, it's funny because I want let's take it back the clock a little bit. When you was talking about how you don't need to be Hercules to be impress women and stuff like that and stuff like that. I think I had since I was the counter opposite to your type beat, more of a hopeless romantic type beat. Hey man, listen, don't put all your eggs in one basket. All right, I learned my lesson as a hopeless romantic. Putting all my eggs in. And the imagination, your imagination and infatuation are two a deadly combo that will set you up for failure. I promise you. Take off the rose tinted glasses early on, very early, and and work your way up there into
Mm-hmm.
that. You really don't know who people are, and you don't know how you get played, and you overlook everything when you use rose tinted glasses. I've
Mm-hmm.
had my fair share of being fooled and shit going left field. Very fair share.
Mm-hmm.
So
No,
you know,
the thing about it is, I'm not a hopeless romantic. I am one.
mm,
That's the thing. I'm not. I'm really. It's just that I understand the real. Even without the clarity that I got from Nora back in March, that set me on this path to truly understand. Like I don't know if I said this here, but yeah, Trent, come through by the way. Can anyone PayPal me $10? I need it for food. I don't. Somebody help that man out. But
yeah,
this is the thing. The world constantly disappoints me, so I know it's real. And I've always had this ability to, how do I explain this? I could do what needs to be done when I need to do it, even if I don't want to do it. I always like to use the like Atreus and Kratos kind of example. Like if I was like my dad was a hunter, and I had to kill an innocent like rabbit, and it's like I don't want to kill the rabbit; it's innocent. But like you logically explain to me, by doing this, we get pelts and furs, and we continue our business. We keep our family running, or maybe you have a little sister, and if we can't use this to make a coat, she'll be cold in the winter. I can be like, all right, I gotta do this, and go ahead and do it. You know what I'm saying? Like I could flip that switch, and it's the one thing that I'm trying to teach a lot of younger guys that I talk to. It's not about having to be this domineering, cutthroat asshole all the time, but you need when your boundaries are being infringed upon and civil discourse fails you, you have to be able to flip that switch. What's up, Trent?
I think it's a little bit of survival, huh? Basically.
That's not popping here in my trip.
Yeah, no, I said what I
Oh,
meant.
okay. What's up? How you doing? Oh, I think maybe he's been. Oh, yo, I have you lower. All right. What's up, man? How you doing?
Chilling, man. What about you guys?
I'm good. I'm off for the day. Well, now, hit the gym already, so I'm just here
Hell
streaming.
yeah.
Feel me? I was supposed to
Hell
do
yeah.
JoJo, but since I can, like I might as well stream something. Stream what's on my heart. So it is what it is.
Bro. Them the best streams.
Yep. And you know what?
What's up?
Yo, what's his name? I
Yo.
watched a bit of ABBA and Preach after the fact. I liked it. I like that.
Yeah, they really authentic, man. I really like. Don't know
What is it?
Abba and Preach. These two guys speak YouTube together.
Like when sometimes you see yourself having trouble with the thing, but when you know you need to do it, you got to do it. Exactly. Yeah, it does. It does. It does. It does. Because yeah, and you're right. I didn't want you to talk so I could start eating. I wanted to start eating my patties, bro. My first
I
heartbreaker turned into a whole 5 years later. Glad I ducked it. Hey man, that happens. The best of us. I feel it. By 25, I was tired too. Before I was wild. Thank them, my girlfriend. After that, I've grown so much. Hey man, one day for me. What's up? But yeah, where do you want to chime in though, Trent?
I was just gonna say, I don't know your experience, but like I feel like a lot of younger people I've ran into on Discord, like these are some of the topics I'm running into, but I feeling like a lot of them are kind of like you're saying, almost. I don't know. I feel like they almost even are overplaying their personal experiences. You know what I'm saying? Or just because this is like everybody's trying to, say, oh, this is how you're supposed to be, treating females or this and that, and it's like it comes from that kind of like you said the like pill perspective. But once you have gone through it and actually are like once you've been this or that and you kind of know how to treat humans in general, and like you said, you start to get just tired of like the just the toll that it takes on you personally to even juggle this shit. Like that's when you really know like you're like you've been through it, or like, what you're like that you know what you're talking about. You know what I'm saying? but I don't know. I just feel like it's gonna be hard to kind of really advise in these type of situations because like sometimes it's like yeah, you kind of need to experience some shit for yourself, but some shit you also have to like
Some people have to make the mistake to understand it. That's just how some people
right.
are. Like I could live vicariously through other people and understand what mistakes they made. Like I
Mhm.
always say, a bad example of something is still a good example because it's something I don't want to be. So even if I have someone in my family like I don't want to I don't really mess with them. But they're an
Mhm.
example of what kind of human being I don't want to be. What kind of example I don't want to pass on to like my nieces or nephews, whatever the case is. So
Right.
even a bad example to me is a good example.
I can add to that because I haven't been in a relationship in a long time, right? But a
Neither
lot
have
of
I,
my
brother. I was 19 the last time. People forget that. I was 19. I'm 28 now.
yeah, shit, you gotta be beating that guy. Shit, but yeah, it's like through my brothers, basically, well, my best friends, I basically call my brothers anyway. But I've seen all their relationships and how they had their ups and downs, and finding a lot of toxic stuff in their relationships that they look good on the outside, like when we're together and our homegirls there, but then when they come back and they tell me all the shit that was really going on behind the scenes,
Hmm.
then it'd be like, oh wow, and then like some of the non-supportive shit they had going through, and I'm just like observing this, I was like, well, you know what, I can kind of see, you know, what I don't want or how I can easily get caught up the same way or noticing
Right.
traits early on that I probably wouldn't have noticed. Like I say, looking through the infatuation rose tinted glasses, and then you don't really catch, without the filter, but because you just in the mood or whatever. So looking at that, I really see like, okay, this is like a red flag, things like that. I wouldn't want this if I was dating somebody, stuff like that. They're getting a lot just from looking at their shit and then coming back talking to me and showing me all these text messages and these arguments. So I'm there hearing this shit like, what the fuck wrong with this bitch?
And like part of the reason I try to make it feel like it's not all I was made out to be is because like I like Trent said, like I have people on Discord. I see how they're talking, see how they're going. Like, yo, I think you have it backwards.
Right.
And I understand the perception. I get it. Like the perception of everything, like from Instagram to this and that. Like I get the perception. It looks like the life, the way to be, the thing to do. It isn't, man. A lot of those people are not happy. They're not miserable. They're just showcasing their highlights to show off to you, to make you
Yeah.
think this is it. This is the tippy top. Like no, man. Just deal with the things you need to deal with. Handle the people around you. Be as valuable as you possibly can be, and you'll find that contentness and happiness on your own. Trust me, because I.
Yeah.
I through Nora realized that a lot of things that I thought were attractive and desirable were not, especially not in the long term. And I had to,
100%.
yeah, and I had to learn. I read a lot of books to make me realize, like, no, why did I look down on family? For what reason did I think that wanting to raise a family was some weak shit? What made me believe that? And I realized I got caught up in the whirlwind in the storm of, you know, career. As all kids are just they're a resource muncher. Like no, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Like I don't know how I even got myself to be into that position. So just be careful what you're absorbing.
Yeah, and but like to like you said, it's like even no matter what situation you land in, like you just got to do your best regardless. I guess that's kind of outside of the overall topic, but it's just like regardless of like how it plays out. But I really just don't like the way that people are just like. And I don't know. A lot of these kids are like 19. The age we were when we were kind of in the wild phase, whatever, 19, 20, young 20s, and it's like you're trying to describe to me what you know the female species to be, and it's like you haven't lived long enough. You know what I mean? Not even live long enough, but like live through some crap or just been able to really realize how much or little you know in general, and just about like life. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of times, yes, there are situational like tropes that you're typically going to win in or whatever. Once you've gotten confirmations of specific signs, if you're trying to hit or whatever, but like you're still dealing with individuals and, basically just on a personal level, so each situation is going to be different. Like you said, even when it comes to the simplest things of like being protective, like, you could end up fucking with a chick that may have something that you didn't know or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
It only
Like,
takes one time.
yeah. But just like you just can't go into these situations as if you know that, like, as if you truly are like, a female savant. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like I don't buy it.
I don't buy it at all. And again, I think again, you have to. It's hard to do sometimes, but you have to be able to kind of parse the right information from the person you're hearing it from or whoever it is they're learning from. Because I'll hear them say certain stuff, and I'm like, where do you get that from? Like, who taught you that? Like, why is this a belief that's so strong in you? Just in
Exactly.
general, for from a life perspective, from a money perspective, whatever. Like, I think there's generalizations that you can apply to anything, and you should. I don't like people who don't believe generalizations don't exist. Because if 51% of something is something, it's the majority. Even if 49% is still a large amount, but it's not the majority.
Right.
However, like I said, everything is somewhat personalized. You can't. So that's why I would say with like when it comes to certain things, you can't separate the culture, the psychology, and biology. Biologically, we are who we are. You know, men and women are different. No matter how the world tries to make it seem like that's not a real thing, it is what it is. But culture teaches behavior, and the thing that I'm trying to realize is like I'm trying to figure out what these young people are doing in school and outside of school, and what are they consuming and listening to make them think certain things that they're thinking. Because I'm like, it just wasn't like this when I was growing up, and maybe because the digital age boomed so much, and now there's all this social media and everything. But I'm like, damn, like, where did you guys get all these ideas that you need to do all these things to be happy? It's not. You don't. I promise you. Like, Instagram to me has never been real. As long as even though I admit that I let myself. What did they say? Comparison is the thief of joy. Even I let myself when I was like 19. Like my friends are showing off these watches and this and that. I'm like, I'm not. I'm like, what am I doing wrong? Like no.
Right.
Like, but I even knew that like, yo, Instagram is just a highlight. It's a highlight reel, bro. Like it's not
Exactly.
real. It's never real to me. So even I'm seeing all these baddies and I'm like, bro, like they have access to the best surgeries, like the best creams and topical whatever to look as great as they can, and it's like you have to understand that that's not real life. That's not the norm.
And that don't vouch for shit for who they are or what, you know what I'm saying, or like anything like that either.
Yeah, the halo effect. Just because she looks good doesn't mean she's good on the inside. You have to stop conflating those two things. But like personality and looks don't go together. You can look great and be a terrible person, and vice versa. You can look you cannot be good looking and still be a horrible human being.
Yeah, but I get it. These kids, they just have, like you said, just have access to this shit a whole lot sooner in life. Like we didn't get Instagram until we were like older when Instagram came out in the first place. Yeah. But you know what I'm saying. But like even in our generation, I mean, we came up on Game Boys and shit. We didn't really have social media, but we had
we have backlights on our fucking devices. Yo, you need a light to play that shit.
Now we did have the influence. So I guess our heaviest influence was like pop culture or whatever when it comes to like MTV. Like people were all dressed in like whatever rapper or whatever singer or whatever famous girl group or whatever the fuck. But now. People are just getting idolized a lot, or people are finding like idols in like social groups, I guess, a lot earlier in life. You know what I'm saying? Before they're even really finding themselves.
Yep.
Well, I don't think we were doing sexual, like don't get me wrong, and I knew people who were doing sexual shit in like, 8th grade type shit, but like. I feel like that's a lot more normal now. You know what I'm saying?
It is like me being 13, losing my virginity was rare. That's so much more common than I hear now. Some people are like 21, 22, whatever. I'm like, yeah, I was like 13, 14. Like most of my friends were about 16 plus, 16 to about 20 before they lost theirs, right? So like that's interesting. So, but yeah, no, well said. And I part of it I think is like the music too. And like what popular music is, because I like you said, pop culture affected me. Like I don't know, like maybe because I was always I do think a lot of times I'm logical and reason based to a fault, but like I never wanted to be 50 Cent. I love Get Rich or Die Trying, but I was not trying to shoot nobody. Like that just like it just didn't affect me like that. Like I didn't look at 50 like I want all those tattoos and jewelry. I just didn't care.
Right.
Like I don't know if that's just me. It's not a common thing, but like I know people who what they have on is more basically in totality costs more than what they have in their savings. Right. Have all this Balenciaga, whatever the fuck y'all wear. Like what? Why? Because you're trying to look the part. What's
exactly? That's what I don't understand. The motherfuckers be getting every J drop. I'd be like, what the fuck do y'all be doing?
The Gucci. I put on those Gucci whatever Kanye slippers or whatever. I'm like, it's not even comfortable. This is trash.
Yo, what's good?
What up?
What happened?
What's good?
How you getting here?
What you mean, Badger? Brother Badger got me in.
What the hell? I can't believe
Yeah,
who I'm here right now.
That's
What the
not how
fuck?
you got it. That's all. What's up, though? How you doing?
not much, bro. I tried to hit. I hit you up not too long ago.
When?
Like what? 3:25 in my time,
Today?
bro. In Discord, bro. In
Oh.
the apes.
Yeah, you can't trust me when I'm streaming. I don't look at nothing. That's my fault.
Yeah, you really don't.
Like when I'm live, I don't look at nothing. I just look at the
Right.
chat. That's my fault. I gotta do better.
Yeah. That's alright.
But yeah.
But I told you I was in your stream. I just said I was gonna pull up.
Okay. Okay, that was you.
Yeah, that was me.
Tom, you have like
But
100 aliases.
I
never
know,
know
bro.
which one.
I was just about to say, like, bro. I know I keep changing my shit, bro, but like, you got to live with it, bro. You got to live with it.
Every time Tom pop up, and you do with it. Yo, everything's different. So, alright, but how you been doing?
You sound older, man.
I'm good, bro.
How you doing?
I'm good, bro.
Good.
But yeah, hold on. When I was 17, a lot of people lost their to. I thought I was a real one. I only lost it at that time. Yeah, 17ish was like an age that was kind of normal. Like you probably your later years in high school is usually like 11th, 12th grade. I would say most of my friends. I was already doing whatever from time, but again, the difference with me is like I don't know if I ever explained. I don't know if I said this on stream before because Nora pointed it out to me, like why I was so successful until I was done school was because you were so athletic and good at what you did. You brought so much value and acclaim to the school, and you were basically a top percent there because you're athletic, you're in good shape, you played the sport well. So people wanted to be with you, and that followed you from elementary to middle school to high school to college. Then when you came out of that, you realize that those things weren't necessarily going to matter in the workplace. What's your credit like? What are you driving? Where do you live? How much money are you making? Like that's what became more important. And I was like, that actually makes sense to me. I never thought about it that way. I thought I was the people I didn't have much game as I thought I did. that was my excuse. So like I think I just didn't have as much game as I thought. So
Yeah, I would say that probably does factor in, but naturally you all also got it, became adept, and also like, you just carried over those not only athletic traits, but just kind of like the dominance traits, even just in like the presence. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just feel like I don't know, it's a common theme, and I don't know what it specifically is because sometimes it's different with some people. Sometimes it's their comedy, sometimes it's their whatever, but there's typically a common theme amongst people who are like, I don't know, are like almost effortlessly attract people. Like in college, like if it's a group setting, like okay, it's a group of like new chicks and then a group of like our crew or whatever, like in the non-cockiest way to explain it, that's like you almost know, if you have the intention to, like, you can definitely bag something that night, but you already know somebody's feeling you. We're really without effort. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like that's something you kind of carry with you, like, as you continue to grow up. If you already have it at that younger age, it's definitely developable as well. I feel like it's just kind of an experience thing. I feel like.
Yeah. Wait, you said what? Niggas in my old school lost this shit at 11. I'm sitting there like, yo, we're there, not mine. I mean, you ended it with you're sitting there. 11 is really young. You're a child. That's crazy.
Yeah, I still feel like, you're a child. I lost mine senior in high school. I feel like I was a child still, looking back,
In hindsight, right? I'm like,
Yeah.
I tell people at 13, I don't know. I didn't even know what was going on. I didn't even know what nutting meant. I didn't know what was going on. I had no business having sex at 13. None. Zero. I was pretty sheltered, honestly. So, but what was I gonna say? You guys know Hot Damn Iraq? I think his name King Carter.
Mm-hmm.
I used to watch him back in the day. He was sick for a bit and he came back, but he had a video that I always thought was very important for guys who are kind of players, when you kind of realize the destructive path that you've caused.
Yeah.
Or, like you realize, like, damn, like I really wasn't shit. Like, like that moment, I think is a very important part of Over development, hold on. On 11, all I cared about was creepypastas. At 11, I might have been still playing with Beyblades and shit. Like my Digivices in my hand, I'm shaking that shit. Like I was, I was not worried about none of that. But maybe soccer. Soccer I was still playing. But like other than that, like I wasn't. I was very unserious. I was just a child, you know. Creepypastas. That's funny. What was I saying?
Hot damn my rock.
Yeah, and he was talking about the thing that we men do to other men. Then I'm like, you know what? I was a part of this too, and I thought it was so. I thought it was. I love the way he explained it, but it's like, say you're a sophomore in high school, right? You come in, all right, all right, new school. I'm gonna try. You're gonna try to do your thing and trying to get some girls, or whatever. So you're with a group of people, and let's say you're the only one in your friend group, or one of the only ones who's not getting quote unquote ass. You get clowned for that shit. You get fucking bullied and clowned. What are you scared, bro? Like we literally will make fun of you. Like I have done that. Oh, you have no game. You have this blah blah. Oh, are you scared, dog? You scared? You scared of some pussy, man? Like, and what you don't realize, what you end up doing is creating this culture that all those guys, all you care about for those 4 years, in my case 5 years, because I did the 5th year in high school, because I did not pass math, was you just chase skirts. You just chase skirts the whole time, and even if the person who has like the least sexual conquest gets something, you'd be like, well, you only have one body. You're in last. He has 3. He got his dick sucked behind the portable this morning. With and it's like it's just constant, and it's like you don't realize how much focus on things that fucking matter you don't have when you're doing that, and a lot of us take that outside of high school into the next phase of our life, which is so dangerous. And I'm like, I was a part of that, and I'm ashamed that I was in hindsight.
Yeah, I almost took more pride in because, like, it was my girlfriend at the time that I lost my virginity to in high school when I when I first had sex or whatever. Mm-hmm. But I kind of took more pride in basically not having bodies. I didn't want a whole bunch of bodies. You know what I'm saying? And like, it was it was to the point where actually in college our friend group was we almost reverse teased each other because it was like, oh, you got X amount of bodies and you a savage. You know what I'm saying? You dirty dick, you dirty dick whoever, you know what I'm saying? Yada yada, so like but don't get me wrong, in college that's when the body started to occur, you know what I'm saying? But like it was still almost like I don't want X amount of bodies, but that just still ended up being the case. So I don't know if that psychologically ever had anything to do with it. That was an interesting point to kind of bring up. Because in high school, of course, like you said, people were still like, oh, you ain't hitting nothing or you yada, yada, yada. But it was still more of a choice then for me than anything. But it was still something kind of like you said that I had heard. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I don't know. The savage came regardless, but all right.
And sometimes I don't think, like, I guess either people on either side of the gender or whatever, like you create the other monsters.
Oh yeah, for sure. It really comes down to like what you consume, like in your day-to-day basis. You know what I mean? Like,
that matters. I don't think people really taking I can't remember who I first said it, but like what you consume is more than what you eat, what you listen to,
right.
what you watch, who you're around.
Yeah,
like all that really matters.
Yeah.
You hang around with, most of the day, almost every day,
Yeah, it's like you're like, it's like your best friend or your top 5 friends or whatever, or who you're most I don't know who you're most similar to, something like that, like your circle of your closest friends.
Influential, influential, as far as just being around them so much, you rub off each other. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You reflect, you guys are reflective of each other. So if you have a friend.
Right.
One of your top 5 best friends has like a super negative personality or super negative trait that you kind of feel like you kind of need to cut off. I guess that's in some way, shape, or form within you as well, since there's something that you keep around or whatever. I don't know, but
right. Like my little brother, he's extroverted. He's always been extroverted. I've always been extroverted, but I feel like with him, he's around people that amplify who he is. You know what I'm saying? Cause he's always out and about, and he's always loud and funny and just outgoing, and he's always social and so he always like to party and do things that his friends are into. But I feel like that takes away from what he could be doing. You know what I mean? Or what he could be figuring out at his age right now, because he's only what, 23.
Right. So you
Like,
feel like he could be more of a maybe a
no, I mean, like, at least learn how the world works. Like,
yeah.
instead of like just going out partying and think that's all it is to life and chasing skirts. Like that nigga. I tell you, like that nigga just be out there like drinking and what I'm saying. Like, but like he come back home, but like
I've
he
been there.
thinks he has a life.
Yeah, I
You
did
know what
that
I'm
too.
saying?
You think
At
I
23,
thought I was
like it's lit, like it's lit, bro. Like you know.
right?
I
It's
thought I
lit,
was
but
living
like he
too,
living at his
bro.
mama house. You feel me? So it's like
Yeah, that just comes with experience, and eventually, you get up in one day and you're like, you know what, this is low key dead. Like I'm
yeah.
actually tired of doing this, or some people don't, unfortunately. But
It probably
yeah,
just take some time or take like the
Some
wrong
people really
step.
do not grow out
You
of
know
it.
what I'm saying?
yeah, some people really don't, bro. I mean, I got neighbors that growing up, they were still smashing 30 cases of beers on the weekends doing their thing, which you want
Yeah.
to drink or whatever with your friends, cool. But it was just they were still a part of that. Like I don't know, it just never they never seems to have to be tired of having a hangover come Saturday morning. Like that was just something that was going to happen. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Um, yeah, I don't know.
But how do y'all feel about like if it has something like do with or not or like I mean because it's different from different cases of people. Like you feel like something like traumatic, not traumatic, but like something significant happens to like where you start to like take a step back and like have to figure shit out, and then like you see a different side to like how things really are. You know, like like you might not be okay in the inside, but like everything around you is still okay or still normal, the same thing that you be seeing every day. But like you start to notice that it's affecting you in like you know a more harmful way. You know what I'm saying?
No, trust me, I get it. Because like the reason why like this ties back into like I wonder what the culture really is like in a lot of these places. Like I understand like this Western society right now, we're very
Mm-hmm.
like pushing progressiveness,
Hmm.
like you know, like feminism and things like that.
Yeah.
But like I'm seeing how it's affecting my nieces and how they're dressing and talking, and I don't fucking like it. You know, and it's
There's
like,
Uh,
and
just
like it's concerning to me, like who they look up to, and what is being promoted in mainstream media and mainstream social media. Like the articles that I see a lot of times, like in like the corner of Twitter, I'm like, I just like it comes with. I could tell that this comes with such a bias. Like, there's a spin here. Like this is right leaning, this is left leaning, this is that, and I don't like that
mm-hmm.
because it feels very dishonest. Like I've read some like, oh, research shows that like like men are like this and that and blah blah. I'm like, this is intellectually dishonest because you didn't actually do the research properly. Like for me, like I don't know if I said this before. I was always scared of plagiarism growing up because they made it such a big deal. So one thing about me is I've always been a good researcher and I always cite what I research. So, like when I'm reading something, I don't just take an article at face value. I want to see your sources. I want to see where you got this information from. I want to see it, right? So I look at all that stuff and I'm like, this is very intellectually dishonest because the one I'm thinking of in my head is the one that was like the reason the article was something like we need more women cops because males are too aggressive and 3 times more likely to fire their firearm than a woman is. But then when I did the research myself, turns out that most men are sent to high dangerous areas where the women are mostly settling domestic disputes or whatever. So for this to be intellectually honest, you'd have to take women who are going to dangerous areas and men who are going to those similar areas and see
Right.
under duress. Like you see what I'm saying? Like that was very
Yeah.
intellectually dishonest. But that kind of stuff gets perpetuated and people go with it, push their agenda, and then it becomes the thing. So I'm just wondering like what are they really out there learning and internalizing? Because it's not it. I don't like
Right.
what I'm seeing. Even with my younger male friends, like they're stupid, man. They're so fucking dumb. We have no self worth.
And like I think like for me, I think a big turning point for me as far as like just getting out of high school and then like having to deal with like real world stuff, like finally getting a job and learning like what it's like to get the first paycheck and whatnot,
Yeah.
and then also learning for the first time how to use social media, or not really learning how to use social media, but like finally getting into social media. to like keep up with, keep in touch with like friends from graduation and whatnot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like they don't teach what they don't teach you is like how to use social media like for like what's it really is used for like networking, promoting, and educating.
Hmm.
But if you like just freshly new to like social media like Twitter or something like that, and then like you see a bunch of stuff and you start getting influenced or not even or yeah you start getting influenced and like you don't really understand it and then it's like it taints your per- perception of how you used to view things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like and
Yeah,
like for me it definitely did that for me because like I was in a rut like I mean like I was never the same when I had like when I just experienced it and I didn't really know how to use it. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah. I
it
think
really
the
did
better
affect
thing
me.
would, I think the better thing to say at that point would just be like they really need to start developing more mental health classes in, I guess, in like school, or more mental health, like, I don't know, safety model, like, I don't know the best way to put it, but like, oh, just awareness, you know what I'm saying? Just
Yeah,
in the
yeah, very
case of,
much.
yeah, in the cases of growing up and seeing this or that, because I mean, they couldn't have. They can't really build, how to use, this or how to use that, because these things are
Right.
ever growing, and like there's really no control on like the depths, and then which they could use it at home or whatever. But like,
At least
yeah,
as older individuals, we can at least tell the youth that what it's really
I'm a
used
baby
for.
boomer, bro. I'm old. It's okay.
And
yeah,
like, but think about this. Think about this. You probably started off like probably with like a blog or something like or
me on my,
like or forums or whatnot. But like you used to like write some probably heavy, deep, dark, some saying like some dark stuff like in the back of the day, and then now you can like pull it up and like you like in a better spot in a better place. You at peace with yourself. Like they bring up some old shit that you probably don't even remember, and it fucks you. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So like all I'm saying is if you don't know how to use social media, but like nobody's telling you, and like you already being like in this space where it's like oh it's Twitter, like you can write about anything that you like that's on your mind. It like they don't really fucking tell you that it can hurt you. You know what I'm saying?
Simi
And it's
speaks about like learning internet etiquette back in the day was something we kind of learned. Like, your parents would
yeah,
be like, "Yo, don't just be speaking to nobody about it." Like it was a thing. Like
right.
I totally agree
Honestly,
with
I
that. Go
think
ahead.
that goes into the conversation that people talk about, like bring back bullying. It's just kind of funny, but at the same time, it kind of does have a point to it. And like, there is some shit you shouldn't do, but you're not aware you should do. But because if you
Right.
let everybody just slide and do everything they want to do and no actual repercussions, the nigga don't develop social
Yeah,
cues.
we need to judge people again. Yeah, you
Yeah,
should be shamed for fucking cheating.
Also,
Cheating is bad.
yeah,
Don't be a cheater.
yeah.
Don't be fucking
Doing,
rewarded for that shit.
yeah, like doing cringe stuff. Like there's some shit you shouldn't do in public. There's some shit you keep to yourself, and then like there's some shit you should be judged on. I don't care what people talk about, but it's like now we so coddled and sensitive and this, that, and the other, and you have these limiters, and you can't say this and you can't say that, and trigger
right.
words and other, that now it causes this issue a lot of times,
Yeah, for
and
sure.
niggas do shit.
Oh shit. Let
Just
me look at
like
the chat for a second. Hold on. Agendas and functionally create new lanes and permissions in society without we looking at the long term and root problem. That's my problem with a lot of people too. Just nowadays, I realize I realize I had this problem to some degree, but like people think short term all the time. Like I got out of school, lived by myself, made up for what I do back in school, like being a male whore. Like I get that. 'Cause a lot of my friends who were late bloomers, they went crazy. They went so crazy one day. Whatever. And a lot of those guys now are with baby moms they don't want to be with and all kinds of things. So it's just like you really gotta be careful. We should bully heavenly. Jesus Christ. I don't know enough about that situation, even though I kind of know what happened now. I'm more familiar with the fucking fresh and fit and apple beef and I would preach beef than I am with that. So,
I don't
yeah,
even know how they even. Uh,
yeah.
that shit was it got even worse recently, man. That
Yeah,
shit was
I seen like the Yande guy came with the blick. I'm like, oh shit. Or no, maybe I think Myron had the blick or something. I don't
yeah,
know.
yeah.
The
When the
fresh
other guy,
one on Instagram, it was just stupid. They're just
yeah, that shit's goofy, and that just boosts
those
the
guys
offense.
showed their entire ass. They showed their ass. You know what they were about now. They showed
Yeah,
their
they got
entire ass.
exposed. I've been preaching real niggas. So I fuck with them.
Yeah, I like that.
Authentic guys.
But yeah, because I was watching this new guy, like I think his name is Art of Kicks or a different perspective. He's pretty cool. I was watching something today that made me laugh. And this kind of ties into like I don't know what's going on with society. I don't I understand that I retreated for a while, so like I miss certain things. Where I'm like when I came back, I'm
Yeah.
like things are weird. It is backwards, and it's like she's basically equating somebody not wanting to like be with a fat person like
Right.
sexually, like it was fat phobia. She's like, she's like, if you like a preference, it's basically like liking somebody who likes kayaking or pizza. But if you say you
What?
don't want to be with someone who's like obese or whatever, it's actually like it's really discriminatory. It's like being racist and saying you don't like black people. And I'm like, what is going on here? Like, what
Yeah.
did I miss? Because that made no sense to me. Did that make sense to other people? Like, that was nonsense to me.
See, this the one I'm talking about. Like you letting too much shit slide, and now we just can't come back up, and it just gets worse and worse and worse. And now you got shit like this that anything can just slide, anything be called forward, anything can be oh, you being discriminatory, this, that, and the other, just because I'm not interested, or that's not my preference, or that's not what I choose. No, I bet you if somebody came at her with something different she had, or something she wasn't comfortable with, and she'd be like, "Oh no, I don't agree with that," or "I'm not. That's not what I like."
There's
So then,
nothing
don't you
wrong
have
with
a
having a
preference?
preference, bro.
Exactly. Don't. So then, don't you have a preference too? Everybody has a preference. Like whether you say you don't or not, like everybody has something they prefer or like. So you might say, "Oh, I don't have a type," but you have things you prefer. It's being human. Nobody has something they don't prefer. That's what likes and dislikes are. Everybody has them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Trying to figure some lame ass dude, bro. Like, what the fuck? Like, yeah, what she talk? First of all, she did some weird shit. And listen, this is a side note. I think this time something Trent said earlier too. But like, yo, I don't know how much TikTok you've seen. I've seen way more than I want to because of my friends. Like, I'm like, do you guys just watch TikTok all day and rot your fucking brains with this shit? Because TikTok to me is like a Gen Z app. And it's like I'm not listening to what a 19-year-old has to tell me about life, relationship, and politics, bro. You haven't lived enough life. It's like you just said.
I'm
Like I'm
good.
just
You know what
not
I'm
listening
saying?
to you. Like you could know what you're talking about to
Exactly.
some degree, but it's just like I don't know what it is about TikTok. But yeah, the girl was there. She did something so weird first. She was like, "Turn up your ears, whoop!" And she did some shit. And then she was like, "Now put the bubble in your mouth." I'm like, "What the? Why are you talking to me like this? Like I am a grown ass man." Like that was really weird. But then she went to like, "Yeah, that's fat phobia." I'm like, all of these social conventions and shit that people make up to me is just so that people can be lazy and be accepted for what they are. And what bothers me the most about weight is it's one of the very few things on this fucking planet you can goddamn control.
Yeah, and it's like let's not promote. I don't.
I can't be 6'4" tomorrow. I can't do that. I
Yeah,
just can't do that. That's not
and
in
I don't
my.
want to promote you being unhealthy. Like, yeah, you should, but you should not feel bad about where you are currently. But
Yeah,
I'm not going to promote you continuing to do harm to yourself. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Yeah.
So like it was just very strange to me because I constantly see things like that where it's like, listen, as I'm a guy who like I don't want to have to raise anyone else's kid. So I would like the girl that I'm with to not have any children. But what I don't like is when I say something like that, they try to shame me for it. Where it's like, well, a real man, well then I'm fugazi. Fuck that.
Yeah,
Okay.
there's nothing wrong with that.
Like yeah. So it's like I'm like, where did this come from? Where like all this shaming and all these tactics and things to do to like be accepted. Like I'm not accepting the mistakes that you made. I didn't make that mistake. I didn't do that.
You
I
know,
don't have to deal with it. I don't have. Oh, you just can't handle a woman with that big. Shit, fine, all right. Never have to sleep at night. I'm not doing it though.
That's the thing. It's your life. You get to choose what you want, even if you broke up because you didn't like whatever what other minuscule thing. Like that is your prerogative. You know what I'm saying? Like,
But I know
Yeah.
I know guys who feel bad for that something like that. Like, am I a bad person for that? Like, no, you're not. Like they'll start to be like feel like they're actually a bad person because like
no.
I don't want
The
to be
thing
with
is,
this
you don't
girl.
have nothing.
Yeah.
If you deem that the chick is worth still talking to, then that's your prerogative as well. Like, but you don't got to feel bad for because, like you said, at the end of the day, that is extra baggage that you don't have to sign up for. That you're not necessarily responsible for unless you want to take on that responsibility. You know what I'm saying? So if
Because
you don't want to
you
walk
know,
into that
girl,
situation,
you're a better man than me. I'm not that nice.
you know what I'm saying. So it's just that's personal preference. not even personal preference. It's just situational.
Yeah.
Like it's not like I don't know if there's any guy that's like hunting for that situation specifically, but like again, if it's something that you end up just finding yourself in, especially with this the day and age or whatever, you find a girl or whatever, and you find out down the road or before your first date or whatever what the situation is. Like if you decide to keep going, you decide to keep going. It's just up to you.
Yeah.
Wait, the audio went
And if you
out?
can live, and if you can live with, then it's for you.
Yeah. Hold on. I'm 19 and I refuse to touch TikTok. I'm good. I've honestly, if I've seen 100 TikToks, I've liked 6. Like 6 of them. For the most part, shit I can see. Audio went out. I think the audio's fine here, but on my computer, so maybe refresh. Shame is a powerful case. We went on prime attack. Yeah, I didn't realize how much shame works on men. Like, it's really a good tactic for like, especially on men. It really works now. The crazy how strong the switches on my phone, and lots of dudes don't have the tools to navigate hurt pride properly without doing harm to himself and whatnot. Okay, audio is good. All right, good. And like, again, I urge a lot of people to like, for the most part, you should whatever you're asking for. You should be able to uphold yourself. That's a common belief that I have to a certain degree. So what do I mean by that? The reason why I can be like, I don't want a fat chick is look at me. Am I fat? No.
Yeah.
I work out a lot to stay in good
But
shape.
also, Naya, you stay to yourself, right?
Say it again?
I said, but also you stay to yourself, so you would know if you would like feeling a certain kind of way. You know what I'm saying? While having your alone time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
I feel like I feel like a lot of people gotta understand, like, you gotta really be comfortable being alone by yourself first before you can, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
Because,
I've
like,
always been comfortable being alone, going against the grain, kind of doing my. I've always been a bit of a lone wolf. I actually think I think I was a bit too much of that at one point. To be honest, I think I had to learn to play nice with other people.
right.
I was a little arrogant. I won't lie to you. It was kind of arrogant when I was younger. Like I was very indifferent too. So
Yeah.
it's like, and a lot of people took my indifference as an extra layer of arrogance. It's like I'm just not worried about what you're doing over there. I just don't care about your life like that. But then again, that seems like like you don't care about your teammates doing. No, just come and play well. I don't give a fuck about what you're doing outside of that, unless it's fucking up what we have on going here.
Right.
I like to enjoy my own company. Oh, sorry, hold on. It's something I have to physically teach myself. Yeah, it helps with knowing yourself. Introspection is very important. Like, if the world is constantly wrong and you're constantly pointing the finger externally, that means that there's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing you need to work on because the world is wrong. That's why I always say
Right.
it's dangerous having that kind of victim mentality because you won't self improve because you won't have to.
Right.
It's the world, not you.
Yeah.
Right.
That's the thing. I like. I don't know if you guys ever listen to anybody like Eric Thomas or anything like that, but
Yeah.
they're people that just be like, yo, like just take the shit that belongs to you, and you know what, fuck it. Sometimes take the punch that don't belong to you, and just be like, yo, you know what? It's if somebody do you wrong, just you be like, that's I shouldn't have been relying on that person. You shouldn't have been like, So if somebody did me dirty in a deal, it's like, okay, I know next time not to be super reliant on this person to be to come through on their end. You know what I'm saying? That's something that I need to not be dependent on in the first place.
Yeah.
Is somebody to getting their shit done so I could be getting my shit done. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to be able to be like, yo. I was just talking kind of towards the introspective level. You got to just be like, yo, that's like.
Because I think. Sorry, I cut you off. But this.
Oh no, you good. I was just gonna say not to point your finger at everything else. You gotta first take the blame yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, for sure, 'cause like that's like the honest, hardest truth that you can possibly take to yourself. You know what I'm
It
saying?
really is.
Or probably have with yourself.
It's not easy.
Yeah, it's not easy. It's never easy.
It really
Yeah.
isn't
Like it's
easy.
always
I get it. It's not hard.
like it's the best step to take. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It is the best step to take. I feel like that's a mark of like of a I don't know, you want to say a real man, real nigga, whatever you want to say, but when you can be like if I'm breaking down a situation, like let's say me and my chick are into it or whatever, or whatever happened, like I'm gonna also tell you how I fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not gonna be like, oh, this
It was
is
all
what.
me or it was all you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm gonna be like, let me preface the statements by saying this is what the fuck I did. You know what I'm saying? Because like I'm not gonna play innocent, but you gotta be like, okay, what have to play that. No,
Yeah, because
But
this shit. This ties back into like I always say this, right? Because like I'll talk to people, and they'll just be like, "Oh no," like I'll be like, like tell me about your like past relationships, right? And they take no accountability for anything going wrong. It was always the
Right.
other person, or it was a
Right. Like
mutual
why?
breakup. We were in different places. Like no, it's cat. Because even me, as young as I was at 19 when my last legitimate relationship failed, I knew exactly where I went wrong. I knew what I did wrong. Do I think the majority of the blame pod went to me? No, I think 60% of the blame went to her, ultimately. But I knew where I was wrong. And for me, I think I'm one of the few people that I know when I look at my failed relationships or past relationships, if you want to, whatever you want to call them, I'm like I've learned something from each and everything here. Like I don't look back at them like, oh, the worst thing ever, blah blah. I'm like, no, because of this I learned this. Because of this I know I don't like that. Because of this I learned that I can't be a fucking doormat and just give you the whole world and pedestalize you because you will use that leverage against me. Like they were all learning lessons. So I don't look back at them with this eye like, oh god, oh, so, like no, I don't do that. And what a lot of people do, and I'm like, I mean, to me that means you're not growing or learning. Because
Facts.
that means the other person was always the toxic one and this and that, and I'll be like, and a lot of times I'll be like, okay, like describe to me some like toxic behavior or stuff. And they fucking malfunction. I asked you a simple question, and now you, oh well, I can't think of anything. Well, you said it with
right,
so much
because it wasn't
vitriol.
real.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
you
Right.
have convinced yourself into believing that that's what it was without no. You were able to get it that dry label and cut yourself clean from the situation.
That's that
That's,
narcissistic, behavior.
yeah, it is. And even to the point where like you were saying like, oh yeah, not to do this or not to do that. Sometimes it's just also just like you realize that this specific person is not who you can be that with. Like sometimes that person is just not like you can't give this person all of you or all of your like kindness or whatever because they won't like they
Reciprocate.
aren't in a position to take it. Yeah, they're gonna take advantage of it or they can't reciprocate it or like they can't like
Or they won't give you all of it, all of
yeah
theirs.
they're not able to receive it and give
But
it
they'll
to you.
all have all of yours, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But
They yeah, they'll suck you dry, but they're not gonna recharge you.
right.
And you know what's a
Or
very you know what's a very interesting thing that I learned a little bit recently too about all this stuff, where it's like, some people are just come for resources. There's resource drainers, if you will, or whatever. And Simi
mm,
said, said he's coming, so let's get it. Wait, what happened to my roll? Sorry, I got distracted by my game. But yeah, like what I learned too is like, in my opinion, if I have 10 girls in like whatever, right, and each one of them exhibit a certain type of behavior. Let's just say for whatever reason they all hit me, they're all abusive, right? At some point, are these people like not great people? Sure, like you shouldn't hit me. That's not cool. But I have to look at myself and be like, why do I keep picking women like this? I'm the common denominator. I keep choosing these people. What am I seeing? That's probably a red flag that I'm like, oh, this that I think is a desirable trait. That's not letting me know this stuff. And I'm like, this is a level of accountability that I don't see enough people that I need more of, which bothers me because they just don't do it.
Yeah.
They just don't do it. And I see this on both ends, and I don't know if I've ever went through something like that. But one thing about me is I've always been good at being like, nah, like I know when I fucked up. Like I know when it was me. I could always do that. Like nah, that was on me. Like this game was my fault. I shouldn't have missed that shot. Like I always know when it's like really this is on me.
Right. Or I should have took
But
that shot.
most people
You know what
don't
I
do
mean?
that. I would say
Yeah.
it's kind of gross. It's kind of gross to me. Like no one's perfect, yo. End of the day, really, no one is. No one is perfect, and it's okay. You shouldn't have to be, but you should strive to be better and improve. So
But like, let me ask. Let me say this. Do you think it's like it's a hard challenge to do? You know what I'm saying?
what?
Remain your core. Remain your core throughout all the um all the persuasive fluffing like this out there. You know what I'm saying? Because like, huh?
Trent,
What's that, Trent?
I think he was trying to think, but I think he cut out. But yeah,
Oh,
but just continue with what you're saying, and we'll come back.
but like, do you believe that it's a challenge to stay, true to who you are, while there's like a lot of distractions, a lot
Can't.
of like disingenuous what I'm saying, like there's a lot of disingenuous information out there. You know what I'm saying? Like and like that doesn't necessarily have to make you roll like how they roll, but like it
Yeah,
make you feel like
I hear what you're
you're
saying.
not really living how you should be living. You know what I'm saying?
I I see it a lot, and even I catch myself every once in a while slipping just a little bit. Like I'm swaying with the current, I think I've always had a strong sense of self to just pull myself back when I realize it's happening. But it has happened to me even when I was younger. Like, oh man, like this is I'm not this person. I can say this
Right,
my last relationship too. Like envy and jealousy are not natural traits of mine. I don't really. I'm human. I will get jealous and I will be envious here and there, but it's not natural.
right.
She
Yeah.
brought that out of me because she was an envious and jealous person, and then I stopped acting like who I. Then I wasn't myself anymore. You see what I'm
Can
saying?
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, we're good now.
Yeah. Let me see what chat's saying. It's alright. It's based in pride for sure. It's my job I have now. Been navigating through relationship communication, not doing so, but how you can communicate. It's something to be learned. You know what's funny about that, Zodiac? The first person that I've ever had like from like a romantic standpoint that I had good communication with, I almost fucked it up because I didn't understand it. I thought I didn't trust it. like
Damn.
I'm like they don't do this. They're not straightforward. Where are the mental gymnastics I'm supposed to be doing? I just didn't trust it, bro. And I almost fucked it up.
Yeah. You almost
Right.
find yourself playing more games because it's like,
On God.
yeah.
And I was like, wow, that's not it, bro. Do better.
And let me ask y'all this: do it like spook y'all out sometimes when y'all see like real life shit in anime and manga and shit like that, and then it's like, damn, I've been there, you know what I'm saying? Or damn, I know
Yeah.
experiences like that. And it's
I
like,
wouldn't
damn, I
say it
can
freaks
like
me out. I'm just like, okay, this is a mangaka that has experienced some life and is putting like life experience in these. Like, I find it more in like, I don't know, maybe it's webtoons or something like that. Just because I feel like a lot of them are more like um reality based.
Yeah,
You know
like
what I'm
oh
saying?
yeah,
yeah, like they'll be like a work in school and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
like you see,
yeah.
is that Simi hopped in?
It sure is.
What's happening, my brother?
Them novels be hidden though. I ain't gonna care.
It's fucking hot. I'm smoldering. I'm melting in my own room. I hate this shit. My back wet, but we here.
Oh man, how was so you watching all the GameCon stuff? I just seen what I needed to see, but anything else you think I would like?
Oh yeah, there's two. There's at least two games that you most definitely gonna like. I mean, I didn't watch the stream itself because I was actually up for when it started. Nigga, I took a nap. So I did listen. I did the usual. He had fucking Water 64 thread.
Good
I
stuff.
even looked at Nobelian's bitch ass, corny ass as well. Got the little games that I wanted. I said, all right, we move.
See, that's how I am. I'm like I don't want to watch it live. I want to skip what I don't want to see, so I just wait till it's done, and I just kind of look at the timestamps. Like okay, I look at this, I look at this, and I'll close it. I watched like 13 out of the 40 minutes. So, but yeah, did you want to jump in on anything? On chime in?
I mean, I don't know what the fuck I was even talking about.
Right now, I guess I'm talking about accountability. I don't even know. Well, actually, no. Tom was saying basically like, you guys think it is hard for a lot of people to kind of stay true to themselves with all the things in the world, like from temptation to Instagram to seeing other people doing better than them and social media and stuff.
Right.
Is it hard to kind of stay like the person you are?
Fully. Absolutely. I see it every fucking day.
Mm-hmm.
You, especially that whole, there's a big curse over Western society specifically where people think that the second that you fucking turn 18 that you gotta be moved out and have a fucking full-time job and so on and so forth and this that and the third, like they try to live life on fast forward mode or something, like they trying to speed run life or something. And yeah,
Right.
all jokes aside, that's something that's plaguing a lot of young people and whatnot. They're constantly comparing themselves to others and trying to live life too fast, to put it in the most simplest of terms. And I mean, it's just a big shame, honestly, because folk too worry instead of worrying about just trying to get your foot in the door. Folk literally trying to have their whole lives sorted out the second they get out of high school. And it's like, I don't want to tell y'all, but it don't work that way. Y'all
For
gonna
most
learn,
people,
but it
yeah,
really don't.
Yeah.
yeah. I think for me, I think it's hard for in the sense that like I understand sometimes you're like you really see like what am I doing wrong? Everyone else is doing this thing like that. I must understand. But the one that I've never understood is temptation in a relationship. Like if you're happy, you shouldn't have any temptation. I don't that I've never understood because I never had that problem ever. Like if I'm here and I'm content. Like oh, but there's so many beautiful people and options out there. So I picked mine.
But also, him to add to that. I mean, it could definitely be different from from person to person. But like, what if you never had like a real ass conversation with somebody that actually knew like the ups and downs of like how life is? You know what I'm saying?
No, that's true. What's the thing I usually say to me where like I never knew Matt Bonner's name wasn't Matt Bonner. Like I genuinely used to call him Matt Boner, and people will laugh, and I thought they were just being childish, but I didn't know. You'd be surprised. Sometimes people just literally have never, no one's ever had that conversation with them or ever tried to. Granted, sometimes they're just not ready to hear it. You have to be ready to hear it. Like if you're sometimes when you're young and stuff, I get it. Like you don't want to hear that, like bro. No one's trying to hear that. I'm out here getting lit. I get it. So sometimes you have to be ready for the information. But yeah, hold on. Should chat say. Body language, tone, timing, nuances to be learned. Yeah. Case by case. You want a person you want to court, meet them in the middle if possible. I don't know why I'm on this rant, but my mindset type is not. I feel it though. You're questioning your own stand like it can't be this simple. Yeah. Like it can like oh she wants something, she says it and does it. Wait, what? Like that doesn't happen in my world. So I get it, but yeah, you have to parse the logic. I get it. This fucking guy. The worst part about switching consoles is having to rebuy games. I feel that. It's not hard to compare yourself to other people. It sounds easy to ignore
Yeah, I'll be back.
individually. All right. As someone who just got out of high school, thank you for saying that to me. I needed that, man. Take your time, man. who's who's
You
zipping?
already know. Yeah, I know. Fuck going on. See me up in that bitch, huh?
I can't stand
Man,
it, bro.
my back hurt. I be whole be out here breathing for this sap shit. I need to be getting some bitches breathing, bleeding, and slash. You know what I'm saying? Huh?
Wow, I
Oh,
gotta lock up this version.
Nah, but yeah, no. But what Simi said is well said. Like you often kind of. And the thing about this is, a lot of it's just a pissing contest. Everyone's just measuring their own thing. Like, no one is even living that truth a lot of the times. But it's like, yes, don't feel like you need to rush into becoming a six-figure nigga at the moment you like
Right.
some of these things will take some time.
Like
Just make sure
at least
you're doing the work. Keep leveling up.
my bad.
No, go ahead.
At least figure out like how to fucking like get from 0 to 6 figures. You know what I mean? Not try to like jump straight forward into like scheming your way around shortcuts and shit like that to make yourself feel like you got reach it real quick and real like gambling. You know what I'm saying? But like you're gonna probably fail and fumble and like get hurt pretty badly. But like it's a life lesson to learn. You know what I'm saying? But like I feel like we don't necessarily teach our brothers or we're not necessarily our brothers, but like our quote unquote friends. You know what I'm saying? Like that it's not necessarily all that gravy. That's not always sweet. You know what I'm saying? Like when you get out of here or when you get out of high school. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah, man, it is true. Like I'm like, oh yeah, like I'm 19, I'm on my own, and yada blah blah blah. And it's like, yo, that might not work for you. And one thing people have to also understand is like different cities have different costs of living and prices and whatnot. Like
oh, for sure.
Toronto's very expensive to live in. It's a very expensive place to live in. If I was in like Edmonton or something, I'd be fine, 100%. I heard New York is expensive, LA is expensive, but I've heard like some places else, like it's having a place
North
is
Carolina, they
yeah.
go down.
So like, you have to remember those type of things too. So it's like, you're where you come from. You might just need to be making a bit more, have a bit more in your saving, just because the cost of living there is just much higher. So, like,
Right.
a lot of people they just talk and they boast and they brag and they beat their chest, but they don't take in all these variables. So I urge you to always think about all the moving parts. Don't just see like the end result. Because one thing I don't like too. Well, I don't know if you guys hear this a lot. I don't like this. I hate when people who are successful just like I worked hard. I just fucking worked hard. Like blah blah blah, bro. be real. You know there's a lot of luck in there, or timing, and opportunity and whatnot. Like sometimes it's
Or
okay.
patience.
So yeah, sometimes it's okay to be like, yo, I kind of figured this stuff out a little bit on the fly. Like I know in what I think I'm an unlucky person, honestly. Like I don't have like natural just good luck, without knowing what parts of my life where I'm like I was lucky. I didn't actually navigate this the best, but I was lucky to get out of it unscathed. And I'll
Right.
always admit that. I won't just be like, oh no, I knew this, so I knew like no, I didn't know that. I just
So for the,
I happened to just get away with it to some degree.
Hey, look, bro. I'll admit, bro. A lot of the shit I've been like, I learned about like actual life comes from fucking social media now. It comes from my interaction with niggas like y'all from like, from when I first got into the community. Like, cause like I never really had these conversations with niggas that I fucking grew up with. You know what I'm saying?
No,
'Cause, like,
because we're all focused on getting women. We're
oh,
even
oh, oh, yeah,
yeah.
exactly, exactly, bro. But like, it never it trips me out, but like at the same time, it's like it's very like I'm very grateful because like I stumbled across this shit. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah, having this perspective is good.
yeah.
I want to say that. So for those of y'all like Simi, he gonna tell a story real soon because I'm
Huh?
about to sum him up. You
I
don't.
am.
Yeah, because you don't have to do the whole fast track. Breeding bitches and getting this fast sports car. It's okay to take your time and stuff like that. So Simi has a story to tell us about his
What the
beat
fuck?
down, broken body coworkers. Go ahead, tell her where. Go ahead, tell her where them 50-year-old broke down body ass niggas at because they
Nah, I
wanted
mean,
to.
Why is he putting me on the spotlight now? I don't like nigga just shining the fucking spotlight on me. Damn. But yeah, like, listen, I work with a bunch of fucking old ass niggas limping around, could barely walk, can't stand up straight, can't retire no time soon. Been here for 20 plus years. And it's like, hey man, if you want to freaking live life on the fast lane like that, 9 times out of 10, this is probably where you're gonna fucking end up. Cause like at the end of the day, all of this stuff, you need a foundation, you need a base. As Eddie said, there's a lot of luck that goes into it. So there's some people who are legitimately lucky who are just always in the right place at the right time, or they're fortunate enough to know somebody or have siblings or family that knows people and whatnot and got them in X, Y, Z. But
Hmm.
other than that, you follow these fucking just gotta grind ass niggas, work 3 jobs ass niggas type shit. You gonna be at some fucking place where I mean the pay might be good, but it's not like no type of real quote unquote requirements are needed. So you're gonna have people that's been there for God knows
For
how
like,
long, and you're gonna
right.
be next in line, and it's gonna be ridiculously hard, back breaking labor that
Yeah.
nobody else wants to do, but people got to do it. And now you here, and you gonna be stuck there for God knows how long and whatnot. But oh, the pay good. They give me good
I think
uh
that comes with complacency because I feel like
yeah,
people are afraid to leave their spot, or like motherfuckers that's been in the place for 50 years, they could find someplace better. Like some people are just afraid to go, or they're not the type of person to really. Some people actually just don't give a fuck, and they feel like
Cut out a little bit.
if they're not gonna be doing whatever they want to do as their like super dream, they don't give a fuck about where their money's coming from. They're just gonna be there working, and they just want to have their benefits and their retirement and want to go home at the end of the night. But like you said, you gotta kind of be able to aspire for
for
more.
more.
But
I, I
yeah,
felt I felt that because at my job, I mean, I had it made because I do what I want. I want my come on, there. Uh, I do what I want to do when I want to do. My old job, nobody really gonna check us. We on the phone. I listen to podcasts all day. I'm just doing what I do. I know the job, so I've been there for 2 years. Do as I please. You know what I'm saying? Almost
right,
like I'm Yeti, but I'm not.
it's
I'm not.
comfortable.
Yeah, it's comfortable. But when I realized something, I was like, man, my body still be hurting this bitch. I could easily get a better job. These niggas hiring now. It's much closer. And it's like, do I sacrifice it? Like, and it's like, okay, yeah, it's like leaving might be scary. Starting something new might be scary, but I mean, that's part of life at the same time. It's like, you can't get too complacent. Like, I just think about it because, like, for some of y'all that real close to me know that my godson in my world, that's my everything. That's the GOAT, the greatest person that ever existed on this earth. So when I was thinking about it more, like, well, I had the motivation because I need him to have the best future he could possibly have. So just sitting here idling, getting complacent, about this mediocre shit when there's something I can strive better for and I can work towards that goal, I ain't gonna be sitting around
Yeah.
here. Especially not if you throw my godson in the mix. Anything for that nigga.
Yeah,
Anything.
and if it's putting your physical health, like some people need to. Okay, some people that like to say are like you're in a factory job and your back is fucked or whatever. Sometimes that's just on the person because they have not taken care of themselves otherwise, whether it be taking care of themselves before work, after work, or just whether it be gym, stretching, whatever, eating proper diet, whatever the fuck it may be. But for some people, whether it's gotten to that point from that or not, eventually like you have to make the move for what's best for your health as well. Like even if it's like you said, whether it's if it's fear or whatever, like if it's just not healthy for you mentally or physically, like you just got to get the fuck up out of there. It's just a fucking job that's just gonna fill the seat the same way they filled it when you got there. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
unless your name on the company fucking plaque or whatever, more than likely they're not gonna in the long run give a fuck. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Because
Right.
everybody is trying to get a buck. So you got to do what's best for you and yours.
Sometimes you have to ban yourself. They can measure concepts about dying inside. Now that's a fact. That's the thing. Like I know some people. Like I promise you, you think their life is lit, but I know them. I know they've been couch to couch. They don't have a place to live. Like I've seen it. So you have to just be careful.
But
Honestly,
to who's
like
ever okay, my bad.
it's honestly, it's like this might be a hot take, but listen, doing honest work kind of wrong. Like, there's nothing wrong with literally climbing the ranks. If you just now get into the workforce, working them fucking quote unquote dead end jobs and shit, them just that them jobs that aren't shit to
Hmm.
get your foot in the door, get experience, so on and so forth, build your portfolio. There's nothing wrong with that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. And being around actual real life humans and other adults, you really have no idea what the hell's gonna happen to you, because the amount of people that I've met in the workforce that not only come from different aspects of life but that have helped me,
Hmm.
that those are life experiences and like uh chance encounters, if you will,
Right,
that are very valuable
for
and that will
sure.
Yeah.
help you in the long run.
For
So
Yeah,
sure.
there's nothing wrong with starting from zero and working your way up the ladder, if you will. Like, as long as you don't stay complacent, as long as you
exactly.
stay hungry, quote unquote, and you want to actually move up, then there's nothing wrong with that at all. There's no reason to literally try to speed run life. Because if you do
Right.
that, then what happens once you do get to your middle age years, your 30s and your 40s?
Yeah, and to your point, like you got to learn how to be kind of like another thing. One of the motivational speakers I listen to says you got to learn how to be kind of like faithful over a few. Like if you're shit at your like managing your little, let's say Dairy Queen, fucking whatever fast food job, money, and you're fucking, um, you're just shit at like managing your money, your all of that stuff. You're not going to be able to handle it. Like if you were to just be thrown into a situation where you had the money, or you had millions or whatever. Like if you live in paycheck to paycheck from your previous job, you're probably still gonna be hurting even when you get a lot of money because now you don't know how to manage it and you just spend the money in general. So
Right.
you gotta learn how to have that. Like you just gotta be able to go through the phases. Like sometimes you like to that point of like grinding it out every day. Sometimes you do have to be able to be like discipline yourself to be like, okay, like I have to not only show up, but I have to actually give effort because even those people that got the advantages, whether it be a family member or they just ran into luck or whatever, like let's say a motherfucker hit the lotto and then started running $1 million company, like the $1 million company didn't just run itself. Like the motherfucker still put in work. You know what I'm saying? Like yeah, they
Right.
had a leg up, they just worked with the opportunities that were given to them. So like what opportunities do you have that you aren't like utilizing to your best extent? You know what I'm saying?
I love that, and I want to stay here for two reasons. One is, hold on, let me use it quick. Patience pays for sure. Like Sibby's right, by the way. I feel like as long as you build some steel and connection, as long as you choose the right job, nothing will be a quote unquote dead end. That I feel that's when you see work as nothing but a burden with any goals or play. Oh, yes, yes, yes. Like with that. Like if you have nothing to kind of strive for, that's why you do have to stay hungry and kind of ambitious. Like you always want to strive to do better. Like keep that part in you. But there's nothing wrong with having to kind of start from the bottom and build it and build that up.
Right, because
Um,
like you gotta understand like the foundation, like and work your way towards like you know what I'm saying.
Where did he go?
Oh, I thought I had cut out.
Right? Where did he go? Oh, he probably muted himself.
Probably.
Maybe.
I heard a phone ringing. So
yeah, sorry. So what I was gonna say too is like the blue collar people workers in our society are what make this world run. Like I don't know why wanting to be like an influencer or CEO or entrepreneur is the only thing that people seem to think is like a cool thing to do. But it's like
right,
the very people who literally make the water, electricity, take our garbage. Those are the backbone of our society. If those guys go on strike, do you know what happens to us? From the water turbines, electricity, hot water, all that shit does not work. If they don't want to fix the roads no more, who's fixing the roads?
Yeah.
right.
Like these are the people that I actually respect. So if you work any of those jobs, you're an electrician, a plumber, whatever the fuck, that's a great job, and I know it comes with great benefits and good pay. Don't let anyone try to shame you for that. Secondly, nothing wrong with working your way up the corporate ladder, so to speak. Again, and one thing I don't think that people consider about certain types of jobs is it's nice and you have to know what kind of person you are, but sometimes it's nice to work for a good company, even if you don't necessarily own it, because you know what you can do when you get home? You can turn it off. If I'm a CEO of a company,
Oh, yeah.
I'm always in work mode. I could be at dinner with my family. It's like, oh, Jeff, fuck up the stocks. I'm like, oh shit, I have to take this call now. I don't get to ever really truly relax because I'm constantly. It's my company, right? So I think where all the money is going, where it's coming, and all of those things really, really matter. So sometimes you might need somebody who can come home and turn work off. I kind of have a problem because of the content creation. I'm always looking out for certain news related to what I cover. Where it's like, essay can be like, oh yeah, I'm coming back on
Yeah.
March 18th, and I have to fly home to make a video real quick because of my ears to the ground. Like I can't always turn it off because content creation is forever. You know, whatever the case is. So yeah, I think that's a part of stuff people don't always think about. Because I will like somebody who can come home and they're done work. They can turn it off and just hang out with the family. You see what I'm saying? So just consider you do what works for you, obviously. But I'm just saying, don't always fall for all the wrong hype.
Right, but it's kind of a hard, like you were
It's not
saying, it's kind
easy.
of a hard category to put it in because, yeah, like to your point, we're both going to working regular jobs or whatever. We don't have to worry about that to an extent, but you're still, as far as like the running the business or whatever, but you're still coming home and working kind of to an extent, you know, like you're doing what you want to do. We're working on what you want to work on, but you're coming home to work, you know, and to
Right.
potentially put yourself in a situation where hopefully maybe, you know, it gets to the point where you don't have to rely on the first job. You know what I'm saying?
And a lot of
Um,
people are not good leaders. They think they're gonna be a
yeah.
great leader. Then it's not for you. Not everybody can be a superstar on a team, bro. You might just have to be the best rebounder you can be.
Yeah, and like
Right. That
and
you're
you like so
wrong.
you may not even have to be the superstar. Like if you wrote like if you're like in a um like let's say just for YouTube for example, like the guy who might do your intros or might do your you know editing or might do your you know if they you know just talking about you know not to say that you do it specifically but just somebody in somebody's case
Yeah.
but like you know like that's a team kind of effort like you got to play your role to what God like you know gifted you with like if you like if can't nobody do what you do behind the camera when it's you know with the reactions or the webtoons or whatever but you might not be that adept when it comes to editing you know
Right.
and you got to do what you can do to the best of your abilities.
That's a fact.
That's a
And
fact.
and and to go back to what Simi was saying too, because this is important, because I do believe that skills are transferable, right? So part of the reason why I tell a lot of people like, yo, work out, be in good shape, yada yada, isn't always necessarily from the health perspective and being in good looking and everything. It's what it teaches you about discipline, about routine and eating. Like those things you can transfer to other parts of your life, your work life, your romantic life, whatever. Like a lot of times
Nice.
when you do something, those skills are transferable. My level of discipline comes from the way that I eat and work out. That's how I'm able to learn discipline for sexual discipline and this discipline, yada yada yada. Like I'm like
Right.
I understood that like through consistency of working out and doing these certain things, I'm like it built in certain habits and things that I value, and I can take that into other parts of my life. So, so that's why you can be working some dead end job, or whatever, but whatever skill you learned or whatever person you met could be something that you need in the next phase of your life. You never know.
Right.
Facts.
You never
Facts.
know who you may meet that the next day that might put you on at a
You could
better place or whatever. But
you could you could dead ass be preparing yourself without even knowing that you're preparing yourself. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying?
oh, exactly. Exactly. I think that was probably the most perfect point as far as the gym goes because, like, yeah, it definitely gave me physical benefits, but I just think overall in the mindset, like, it just overall gives you a better, like, overall, like, value of, like, I don't know, life or perspective. And it don't have to be a specific avenue of fitness, just kind of taking care of yourself in general because, like you said, gives you that discipline. I don't think I would have even been as much, like, or been more been as able to like self-assess if it wasn't for that. Like, what am I not doing? Or like, oh shit, I actually have one more rep in me. Like, I'm actually being weak. I actually just don't want to do this extra set. It's not that I can't do it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And you really get to be like, okay, you got to kind of kill that inner pussy. You know what I'm saying? And just be like, yo, like I have to man up and get this done regardless. You know, or I'm gonna be
No one's gonna come and do it for you. Tell you that
all
much.
right. Exactly.
Right.
So yeah, I feel it. So yeah, I've been, and that's something that I've always thought that in my head because of fighting games out of all things, where I'm like, yeah, this fighting game doesn't work like this fighting game, but a lot of the things that I learned from like zoning, spacing, combos, yada yada, I can take into other fighting games. That's why I'm like, yo, certain things in life bleed into other aspects of life, so don't look down on it. Just do your best.
Yeah.
Do your best. It's hard out here. I get it, but do your best. Hold on. Let's see what you guys say here. You need to make some connection. You don't know what skills you learn can affect your future endeavors, so you can take with you. The whole I'm not trying to work for nobody, my own boss. That's not for everyone. It really isn't. Provide me work, man. Shit hard. Being an entrepreneur. We have strengths and weaknesses. We all shine. Let me see the cut and take that van off. I feel that. So, yeah. But it's all learning experience. Live when you learn, you grow. I just,
Yeah.
I just find it very strange because I'm very, very skeptical about the information out there and what most people are promoting. Cause I'm like, I don't think this is conducive to long term success and happiness. So I just try to like sometimes have these kind of like streams and talks just to reel it in and make sure everyone's not.
Yeah, people are keeping a realistic pulse on shit.
Yeah, like, and I see a lot of like people who really, really virtue signal and be like, oh, like you're this and that and blah blah blah, and then something happens and it turns out this person was an asshole, and it's like,
And that's the thing is, so I was gonna say this earlier to somebody's point. I can't remember who said it, but you got to realize, like, I mean, there's just a duality of man, or like, or the like, just the other sides of situations. Like, oh, I guess it was to a point where, like, when it was somebody was asking, I think Tom was asking, is it hard to,
like stop yourself.
yeah, because you have, like, though I don't move, I guess you could say, like, I moved in college, like, I still have to make the conscious, if somebody's throwing it at me, I have to make the conscious decision not to catch it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
it's not like that person has 100% been killed. It's not like I'm not attracted to the woman or whatever. And then, maybe in this specific case, I may still be attracted to the girl or whatever the fuck. But I have to decide at that point in time, is it still is it worth my time? Do I even want to do like this shit? Like, okay, do I even want to deal with her after the fact? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
so and sometimes you still have to fight that inner, like, the inner one is just like, fuck it, do it anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
so
But you
yeah, I
also,
think,
but like I think during those times, I think you also gotta realize that you gotta also be ready and prepared to like whatever comes next. You know what I'm saying? Because like she might have some shit that you might not have known.
right,
That you,
exactly. So,
you know
I'm
what I'm
saying you got to make that choice every, like, if you have to, like, you have to make that choice every day. Like, alcoholic still has to wake up in the morning and not choose drink. Like,
saying?
not that the demon is defeated. It's something that he like is consistently battling with. You know.
That's a lot. That's something you have to learn too about a lot of this stuff. Is like it's work every day.
Mm-hmm.
There's no happy
You
ever
still gonna fuck it
after.
up.
Cut to fade to black. That doesn't exist in the real world. Sometimes it's just you want to beat this certain thing, and it's a fight every single day to not slip back into the bottle. It's an everyday battle. But if it matters to you, you'll get it done. True. I felt that. Oh, but yeah, that was a good. You guys any final thoughts?
Final thoughts? Oh no, bro. I'm just, I'm glad I came through.
Yeah, sure, man. Thanks for having me as usual.
Yeah, man. Gotta do these once in a while. I also find these very therapeutic when I don't want to talk about anything anime related. So
Yeah, man. These are the streams I want to do, man. If I had like my streaming shit was
me and
good.
my best friend are
High quality stuff.
working on something like this.
Yeah, bro, this is the best shit right here. But that's why I always try to come through to these because it's the only shit that I like.
This is what
Actually
it's
give a fuck.
about, man. This is what it's about.
Yeah.
Like I obviously would like to make as much money as I can from this stuff, but when I started realizing I was helping people in so many ways, from even if it's just fitness, something small as fitness, it's just like
Yeah.
start to.
And even then, like, that don't mean you can't get it back that way eventually. But like you said, like use it whatever you feel like your purpose is for.
Yeah,
Whatever brings you fulfillment.
that's what it's about. So I'll keep doing my best in that aspect. But yeah, it felt nice to talk about this thing. Yeah, of course. Like again, this is also therapeutic for me because it's like I was in the mood to like talk about Bam and fucking Shinsu and shit. Like I really don't care.
Oh, I've decided, bro, that I'm going to. Because I've been debating on catching up to Tower God, but I'm like, okay, there ain't no way I'm really gonna probably catch up, like realistically catch up video wise. So I'm gonna read on my own and then do a video, I guess per arc or maybe per like, I don't know, depending upon how far behind I am.
That's
But
what for Kubera. I did it by season. So after I finished the season, I did like a half an hour review talking about it, and then because
yeah, I'm
like,
gonna
I
have to
can't.
do it.
If I did read something, but if I read everything on here, it's gonna take too long. So
One of my homeboys is in the Hell Train arc, and he literally was like, he been bashing it for months, like as far as like just because he had dropped it.
mm-hmm.
I guess he picked it back up without us knowing. Then he like he got in the call last night and randomly he was like, Tower of God is like the best shit ever. And I'm like, oh, I'm like, get out of here, dog. I gotta get out of it.
That's funny. But yeah. Anyways, you guys stay awesome. We're gonna be out. Here.
Peace.